Hey everybody, how y'all doing tonight? Trying to get things situated here. Things are not looking too good for 96L. Not looking good at all. Unless you don't want a hurricane. You don't want one, and looks like you're going to get lucky. We can get a few more on here. Only seeing 9 people, 8, something like that. This will be a short broadcast, most likely. Hang on, I gotta adjust my camera. Trying to cut the top of my head off. But yeah, things are not looking good. Hey, Liz, Mons, Jan, Spirit, and everybody else. Go ahead and get started. And what scenes here? This is the water vapor mode. And you can see all that brown. That's dry air. Now, a lot of this in here is Saharan desert. Hey, Brian. That's Saharan desert dust. And as you can see clear over here on the right, you can see this haze coming all across. A lot of that in here is dust. But the reason why this is brown, it's dried the air out. The dust has actually dried the air. Also, we got this dry air down here, and that's trying to feed right into it. Center of the storm, kind of show you where that's at. Mouse pointer to work. A little hard to see the spin. Right there. Been a little bit better, Magic. That's about where the center of Invest 96L right now. And with this in motion, you can see this dry air is trying to feed into it. Now, that's only part of the problem. The other part of the problem is, you notice here, the center is about right here. Notice all the storms are popped up over on the left side of it. The reason why? We got shear. Got a lot of shear coming from that direction. Over here, we got shear that's going to be like that direction. So that's holding it back. Also, it's still in 70 some degree waters. It's probably more like 75. Yesterday it was in 72. The further it goes west, the warmer the water is going to get. That would help it. But with the shear, the Saharan desert dust, and the dry air, and you can see some dry air out in front of it here. See some dry air out here. Got this dry air here. You got the dust and the dry air up here. You got this that's trying to feed into it. Plus you got this dry air over in here. You need to speak English. If you don't stop, I'm going to ban you. Enough of that crap. I'm not going to put up with somebody coming in here and trying to spam me like that. Huh. I blocked him, but it's still showing up. It's hidden for you guys. Damn spammers. Anyway, so that's what's happening. I don't know if I got any mods on or not. I just went ahead and blocked him. But he's still trying to do one-liner spam. English mods. Oh. Not very good translation. So anyway, here's the infrared look at it. And you can see it's pretty ugly. 95L is no more. It crashed into that cold front I was talking about. And it's just been bringing a tons of rain all along this North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia. So we don't have to worry about that one no more. This is 96L. There was an area of interest. Hey, thanks for the Twitch Prime. There was an area of interest right here, but that's not looking good now. But we still got this one coming off the coast. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one. There's still 4 areas all total that we're watching. And National Hurricane Center has dropped this down. They are saying 20% in the next 48 hours, but the 5-day is only 40%. And let me zoom in here so you can see that. You can kind of see where this thing's going to be headed. Now, like I was talking last night, there's that Bermuda High. That's out in here, out over Bermuda. And that's going to kind of steer this thing. And it might, most likely at this point, going to stay off the east coast of Florida. It might turn around and do exactly what 95L did. Yeah, S. Harvey, I appreciate that Twitch Prime. Cool, thank you. That helps out. Now, I'll show you the winch here. Oop. Stop this first. Latest forecast. Now 96L is about right in here. And so you can see this yellows and reds. That's all the shear that it's got to fight. And that brown that you've seen, the dry air, that's mixed in with that shear. And you got a little shear down here. I'm not too worried about that. I don't think in the future that'll hang around. But it's going to have to bust through this and then get up here. Now Florida, I know it's hard to see on this map, but Florida's there where the blue line is. So for right now, turn that high off. For right now, cooler waters, upper level shear, Saharan dust, and dry air is what's holding this thing back. They do have a couple models given tracks. That's the green and red dots on there. The green staying out of the depression. The red dots does have it turned into a tropical cyclone, which is pretty weak. Now over in the Pacific, things has died down over here. Eric is already past Hawaii. Clear over in here. Center of circulation probably right in here somewhere. So it's already past Hawaii. But as you can see, it's bringing a lot of moisture right into the big island and even up to some of these other islands. Now that's Eric. It's down to a tropical storm. It's going to peter out from now, from there. Now this is Flossie. It's also died down to a tropical storm, and according to these model dots, it's going to stay tropical storm all the way till it gets closer. But they've got it curving up. If you notice the dots here, they got it curving up to the north. And once it does that, it's going to run in to some cooler waters. So it'll die out really quick. We still have this other area that they're watching. They haven't given it a designation yet. They do have it forming into a depression, and the one model here has got it curving southwest. Now, if it does that, it'll run into warmer waters, but it'll steer away from Hawaii. But we have to watch it. Let me zoom out here and get rid of the hurricane center. Hey, Southpaw. Let's go ahead and put this in motion. Don't mind the flicker. It's loading up all the panels. Far left is Eric. In the middle is Flossie. And to the right is a area that they're watching. Double check here. I don't think they've given it a designation yet. Nope, not yet. But they do have it as a 30% chance of turning into a tropical storm. So, any questions for tonight? Yeah, I really thought 96L had a chance until that Saharan dust just got in its way and the wind shear built back up. Right there in the center, that's 96L. And then this stuff coming off the coast, this could turn into something really big because all these thunderstorms look like they're trying to merge. And then you got this one back over here that kind of run into it. And there's some spin going on. But the bad thing is low 70 degree temperature waters right off the coast, down in the low 70s. That'll kill it out, sort of like this area of interest. I mean, this is the one a couple days ago that I was showing you coming off the coast that looked really strong. And those cooler waters just killed it. And now, some people think that this thing will, go up and steer away from Florida. But depending on how this shear steers it, that could influence. It could go on over to Puerto Rico and then come up towards Miami. The models right now aren't really showing it that good. It's a little far out. It is considered West Atlantic now, but when I was looking at Euro, it's not really showing much of anything. So going to have to wait a few more days. I'd say within the next 2 to 3 days, I'll be able to tell a lot more what this thing's going to do. It was 70% last night. Then earlier today, they dropped it down to a 50%, and now it's only 40% over a 5 day period. And that's the percentage of forming. So that's just how much in the last 24 hours that the shear and the dry air and the dust killed it. Not dead, but still, we still got to keep an eye on this one. So that's pretty much it for tonight for the. Whoops, hit the wrong one. So anybody got any questions? I hate to do short broadcasts, but I really don't have much of anything to show you. I mean, there is some storms, up here in this is up in Nebraska. Nothing severe on the board at all right now. Then for the monsoon, there is some storms between Phoenix and Flagstaff out in Arizona. I haven't heard from Kerry Meltzer. I know he's out there. But haven't heard from him. Okay, Molly. I'll review it again here. It is starting to move into a little bit warmer water. It's probably in the mid 70s, maybe even upper 70s right now. But what's killing this thing is the wind shear and the dry air. I'll look over at water vapor again, and let's stop this. Right here in the center, this is 96L. That's about where the center is. But all this brown up here, up here to the north, that's dry air mixed in with Saharan dust, and this brown down here is dry air, and you got dry air all to the west of it, and that's holding it back. And like I was saying earlier, notice the storms are off to the left side of it, and the reason why, and we've got some wind shear pushing right there, and that's keeping the storm tops sheared off. You know, for severe weather that makes tornadoes, we want shear, but shear for a hurricane kills them. It blows the tops off of them. So it's fighting. You know, it's not quite warm enough waters for it to really blow up yet. As it keeps moving west or northwest, it will run into 80-degree temperatures. And the further northwest it gets, the warmer the waters get. And if it can get away from the shear, it'll have a chance. And we got to get rid of that Saharan dust off to the north, because the storm's going to want to track up this way. So it's got to cut across this dry air here and fight the shear. And when I put this in motion, you can see this where this dry air is. You can see where the shear, you can see it blowing southwest down to the bottom left. That's part of that shear area. So there's shear in that dry air. So water's not warm enough. Saharan desert dust, dry air in general in its way. That's holding it back right now. It's keeping the tops blowed off. Now, if it can get past all of that, but there is some other shear. Let me switch screens here. No, it's down about right in here, right now, the center of it. And it's got to come across up this way. So all those yellows and reds, that's upper level shear. So it's got to fight all that. They did drop it, like I said earlier, from 70% 24 hours ago down to 40%. They dropped it to 50% at like 2 o'clock in the morning on that update. And then this afternoon, they dropped it down to 40. So that's not a good sign. So it's not looking too good. I won't give it a 0 chance of doing something. But it's looking about like 95L did, because 95L ran into the same problem, and this one was a lot stronger from the get-go than 95L was. I wished I had visible satellite, but it's too late. It's already dark out over the ocean. If it starts looking a little bit better tomorrow, what I'll do for y'all is I'll do a screen recording of the visible satellite of it. Yeah, I'm hoping. I mean, it's going to do something. At this point, the future forecast for it is just to bring Florida a bunch more rain. Sort of like 95L did. You can see these other storms, how they're swinging around up here. And the reason why, that Bermuda High up in here. So you can see how everything's swinging around that. That's helping to steer these storms. So with that, folks, I'm going to go ahead and call it a short night. Sorry, I don't have any more information, but until this thing gets close enough, um, they won't be flying the hurricane hunters into it. I will be back on the same time again tomorrow night, and hopefully we'll have some more information. This thing gets a little bit closer, and hopefully the models tomorrow will start showing a little bit better. So with that, thank y'all for joining me, and it's right around the same time. I get the update at 8 o'clock. It's the last Hurricane Center update, so I try to do it right around 8:15, somewhere in there, Eastern time. So about 23 hours, or no, that wouldn't be right. It's 10 till 9 here. So hey, appreciate it, man. All right, y'all. Uh, until tomorrow night, thank you for joining me. Thank for that Twitch Prime. I appreciate it. It really helps me out a bunch. And we'll catch you tomorrow night on the next tropical update. Y'all have a good night.